Welcome to Olympian Water Testing, giving you the best in water analysis. Today we are looking at Merrick Manual. How does lead affect your animals? How does it affect your pets? How does it affect your farm animals? Let's take a look and keep our animals safe. So lead poisoning in mammalian and avian species is characterized by neurological disturbances, gastrointestinal upset, hematological abnormalities, immunosuppression, infertility, and renal disease. And the nature of the clinical manifestations is influenced by the dose and duration of lead exposure. So all of your animals, all of your pets that you love can definitely be affected by lead in the water. And as we can see, there are some serious problems that can happen here, including and up to death. So chelation therapy, catheters, administration, and sedation are common treatments, but you don't want to let it get to that point. In food-producing species, treatment is discouraged because of the food safety concerns, by the prolonged treatment period, permanent degenerative damage, and poor prognosis. Tissue analysis for lead supported by pathological abnormalities is essential to confirm diagnosis. So, with all that being said and the medical jargon, let's break it down. Lead poisoning in animals and humans is a major concern worldwide, but particularly in animals. Poisoning in animal populations may serve as a sentinel to assess the extent of environmental contamination and human health problems related to lead. So if you're a vet or you're in veterinary medicine, lead poisoning is most common in dogs and cattle. Young animals, pica, and greater accessibility to lead are key risk factors associated with toxosis, and lead poisoning in other species is limited by reduced accessibility, more selective eating habits, or low susceptibility. Now, if you have a farm, in cattle, many cases are associated with seeding and harvesting activities when used oil and battery disposal for machinery is handled improperly. And with the elimination of tethyl lead from gasoline in many countries, the number of lead poisoning cases attributed to oil consumption has declined. Other sources of lead include paint, linoleum, grease, lead weights, lead shot, and contaminated foliage growing near smelters or alongside roads, and as well as water, because most animals, all animals, are going to drink water from some source. Lead poisoning is also encountered in urban environments during the renovation of old houses that have been painted with lead base, leading to the exposure of small animals and children. Recent events in backyard chicken flocks has documented elevated tissue concentrations of lead in eggs associated with the ingestion of paint flecks. So if you have chickens, if you have poultry, and if you have your own eggs, this is something to keep in mind, because poultry are much more resistant to clinical lead poisoning compared to most mammalian species. The deposition of lead in eggs with no apparent clinical disease in the bird may be substantial, may pose a potential public health risk in unregulated flocks. And the consumption through grooming of dust and lead has been reported in cats, and the improper disposal of lead-poisoned animal carcasses also can result in toxosis. Now, there's different ways to find lead poisoning in animals and determine how that is done, and even treat it through chelation or other methods. But all animals are going